Okay.
All right. We'll go ahead and stand for the pledge. Daryl?
I pledge
Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. The Lincoln County Commission, March 19th. Members present are Daryl Baker, Josh Stowers, Charles Vance by phone, and Phoebe Harless. If you've had the opportunity to review the minutes from the March 5th meeting, I would entertain a motion to approve those.
I'll move.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? The minutes have been adopted. Okay, public comment. We've got one individual, Scotty.
Yes, sir. I'm here again this month. I'd like to make a request to be put on the 911 emergency system dispatch. The county commission has been provided with all my paperwork as of 2 months ago. I understand from Alan, the 911 director, that the county commission is responsible for placing these peoples on the rotation. So I've been coming down for 8 months. We're fully qualified since January. We have the only in-town walking in-town lot on eastern Lincoln County. I tried to call earlier to get on the agenda this week and couldn't get on.
You called today, you have to have it posted by Tuesday, the Tuesday of the week, so
I
yeah.
called Monday, but I didn't get a return call.
I didn't have a message.
Well, it didn't go through or something. But I did call to ask when the meeting was going to be. I didn't expect it till next month, 21st of next month. But, you know, you've got all my paperwork. We have a new 911 policy, record policy in the county that's been voted on. If the other record services have provided their information, then they're getting added onto the new policy. So should I. And, you know, I would like the county commission to make a vote on this, you know. Put me in, put me out of business. You know, it's up to you guys.
This being under public comment, we can't take any action.
I'll be back at 21st of next month, or whenever the next county commission is, and, you know, y'all try to make a vote on it, put me in or out. I'm trying to provide affordable record service for Lincoln County. Since I was here the 5th, we've hired 2 additional people, you know. Y'all want economic development in Lincoln County? You're stymied. I can provide faster services. I've had 2 record calls this month, but I was there before the 911 dispatch. We dispatched the 911. So it is happening out there. So we just got hooked up on those wrecks. It wasn't no scanner hopping or anything like that.
It happens.
But see, the thing about it is, no one, if the other record services have given you all their paperwork, PSC paperwork, okay, then they went automatically on that 911 rotation list, okay? I give all my paperwork, I should go automatically on that 911 rotation list. I don't see what the holdup is, I don't see what the squam is, you know. Apologize to Alan. I apologize to you all if I've hurt your feelings on Facebook or anything, but this has drug on for 8 months. You know, you.
I think you owe the entire county
Alan,
commission.
it's under public comment. It's
well,
just-
I can do that too, but I'll offer an apology to you guys. But now, you understand, y'all politicians, you know, y'all politicians, and y'all supposed to do right for what's for the county. If I can provide better service to the county on eastern Lincoln County, then what's the holdup? You know, West Virginia Economic Development Authority is working with me. They have helped me secure loans, small business loans. Lincoln County Economic Development Authority stymied that, tried to stymie that. So we're going out over Lincoln County to get our loans to the Economic Development Authority. So next month, if I can do I have to wait 48 hours to make a request to be here next month for this, or can I do this?
No, I mean, I can,
And I'd like to ask the county commission for a up or down vote on this. You know, I can give you some record fees. I have record bills coming in from other companies that people sent me. You know, 2 hours record service for a little car, $1,050. My fees less than $5. You know, if we want to get into the details of it, then I'm gonna be saving Lincoln County citizens a lot of money. Plain and simple. You know, just because the PSC says I can charge $125 doesn't mean I have to charge $125. You know. So, but I'd like to be able to come back next month and maybe you all can give me an answer on this up or down. After we acquire the equipment. You know, I can ask my contact person at the DSD. She's been willing to come down. I can ask my friend at the Department of Military Affairs. They took all my information today because all this, national emergency stuff, and tow truck operators are now considered in West Virginia as emergency vehicles, emergency operators. So we need to be listed on that 911 policy. And your state codes, Joe Jeffrey sent them to me the other day, stating that tow truck operators are also emergency equipment. So, you know, I'll bring more notes next month, and hopefully I can bring some more people to comment on this. How long we got? Guess I'll see you the 21st at 6:30.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, fine.
Okay, there's nobody else signed up for public comment. We'll move on to discussion.
Did we make a motion on the public hearing?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll back up, there's a different set of minutes. I'll go ahead and move back up to the approval of minutes. There was a public hearing of the Lincoln County Commission held at 5:45 before the previous county commissioner. I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes as well.
I'll move.
Motion,
I'll second.
second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, now we're going to move on to discussion of concern, possible action. Lisa Wells from Region 2 couldn't be here. Bercy Sims couldn't be here either. We have up for discussion, the Hamlin Volunteer Fire Department has requested their release of levy funds, of which we have had control of for how long?
17, since 2007, July of 17, I do believe.
They have provided letters from the auditors and have provided a clean audit for the years of 16, 17, Mary?
Yes.
And
They've submitted for the year 14, 15, 16, and 17.
correct,
The 14 and the 15.
right. The years 16 and 17 had it was a clean audit.
Correct, yes.
And they have requested their monies be.
Yep, they're clean for 16 and 17?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and before that, we still have the problem with what happened with the money, don't we?
So the auditor said for the years 14 and 15, Mary, correct me if I'm wrong, but the audit letter from 14 and 15 said that they could not make a determination either way because there was insufficient information given to them to make a determination
Correct.
for 14 and 15. However, again, for years 16 and 17, it was a clean audit.
Correct.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, having been here in 14 or 15, it was my understanding that the reason they couldn't come to a decision was because there was no receipts for those type things. I think what we as a commission need to decide on is whether we just go ahead. Because I think it's good that they have good audits the last couple of the years that they audited. But I think we need to make sure that we don't get in a situation in the future where something happens that they can't, that we can't verify what happened with the money that the taxpayers pay into those things. And so I'd be okay to go ahead and release the money because I guess we've been paying stuff for them all during the same time.
Correct. We've been making the payments on their fire truck and other items. We've been releasing money just straight to the bank.
Yeah, but I think as long as the commission feels comfortable in not doing anything else, which I don't know other than ask for an investigation of what went on with that at that time, and it's been quite a while ago, but I have no problem in releasing the money now if they meet the requirements we have. But like I said, we are responsible for what they do. And somewhere along the line, we need to make sure that, which it looks like it's corrected now, which I think is good, but I don't really want to get in a situation where we have lost monies and not be able to say, we did everything that we were responsible for doing to try to find out what happened. But I have no problem if it's the commission's wishes to go ahead with releasing it to them. I still think that the situation needs to be monitored closely because of the history of it. So
I think every year, they're audited. I think if there's ever any question within any future year where there may be some audit issues, we can always reverse. If we decide to release the funds, we can always reverse that again if that's the case.
yeah.
It's also my understanding that they have retained an accountant to do their, take care of all their money, to pay their bills, to do all that on a monthly basis.
But that's really good, and that would give me more faith in going forward with this the way it is if they have a system in place which will help us track that, so that when that doesn't happen, doesn't reoccur. And that's the only thing that I would, that it bothers me about it. But if they do have an accountant, it's good to have, to get a CPA to put their initials at the bottom of the page, someone that's familiar with the day-to-day activities of what they're doing, because I think before we didn't have that. We couldn't, when we searched to find out information about what happened with the money, we couldn't identify what happened to it. So, but I think with a CPA in place or someone of that caliber that could report to us on that, I feel a lot more comfortable about going ahead and releasing it.
Well, I would, if there's no further discussion, I would entertain a motion on this matter.
I know every month we've been going ahead and cutting their check. How would we go about?
It would probably make it easier on Cheryl just to do one big check, but I can ask her whichever way I guess is easier, we can just do it. But I'm pretty sure when we did Hearts, we just did one check to them, their funds.
Minus the bills we paid.
And like
It's already
Doug said,
taken
I think
out.
as long as we
Yeah.
stay in contact with them, make sure this accountant's doing the,
Yeah.
they're gonna do all their bill paying stuff on a monthly basis, everything, this person's gonna be taking care of all their money.
And again,
And we can-
they're still subject to an audit every fiscal year that we get to review.
Sure.
And if there's any issues of concern with those audits, then we
Do the same.
can always go back and reverse action if we choose to give it.
Do you need a motion to approve the release?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Okay, I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second to release the levy funds back to the Hamlin Fire Department. Is there any further discussion?
Is there an amount, and is this for 17, or is it for 17, 18, 19, 20?
17, 18, 19, 20.
Okay, is there an estimate as to what the total might be?
I mean,
Every
Cheryl
month
could,
We've just been cutting the check.
Okay, bit by bit, okay, that's
And
fine.
then we've had to pay insurance, different things.
Yeah.
But I guess it would be 3 or 4 years worth of the 5-year total
Yeah, but there's been money released.
for
Oh,
other stuff,
right.
yeah.
So we're
Okay.
gonna have to go back and take
Okay.
out, figure out what it is.
well,
and
she
then-
technically, okay, once a year, when she takes any money out, she has to rewrite herself, we rewrite a check that we're holding. So we've already deducted that money.
Oh,
Does that
okay.
make this,
Whatever-
what I'm saying?
Whatever's in
Okay.
that pile of checks.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
So I do have a motion and a second on the floor to release the funds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, under unfinished business and possible action, again, the Solid Waste Authority has asked for some potential grant money that we've, I guess, given in the past. As of right now, I think we'll just continue this under unfinished business. Just I think we're in some uncharted waters in terms of the budget, just with what might need to be expended in emergency cases with, obviously, the pending health issues that are in the county, state, and nation right now.
I agree.
So I don't want to dismiss the request. I think we just continue to put it on unfinished business until we're more clear on where we are budgetarily going forward, if that is okay with the other commissioners. All right, I'll go ahead and move on to new business. But before I take a motion on new business, I would like to address one thing, one of the items under new business, and that is the approval of the 2021 budget. I would just like to publicly make note that, there was a memo sent out to the other elected officials from the commission asking them to identify, if needed, a 10% cut in their office, in their operating budgets. And those were discussed in their budget hearings. And again, that request was made just in line to, understanding that the fiscal ship is just going to continue to have to get tighter around here. With that said, I would like to make note that the county commission itself has cut out of its budget roughly 10% of its operating budget. We've made no cuts to any of the other elected offices. However, we have, within the budget that is being proposed tonight, have ourselves taken a 10% cut out of the county commission's operating budget. I would say that is, I would hope, an effort to show the rest of the courthouse, the rest of the county, that we are trying to stretch your taxpayers' dollars as much as possible and do our best in these difficult fiscal times, and try to at least demonstrate a way that we can continue to operate more efficiently. So just wanted to make note of that, since that was an item under new business. But I would entertain a motion, if you've had the opportunity to review the new business, to approve it.
I'll make a motion to approve the new business is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
I have a motion to approve new business and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Under other comments, I would just like to make note, again, that obviously we are dealing with what is clearly a health emergency in the county, in the state, and the nation, and Lincoln County has, just to publicly note, Lincoln County has officially now proclaimed a state of emergency to allow just more flexibility with a number of operating operations. We also took action today to close the courthouse to the public. However, within that action, it is still required for the county offices to maintain operations and to make sure that the staff is available to continue to provide those essential services to the citizens. However, we're asking that the citizens, the residents, try to do their business via telephone. We've asked the other offices to make sure that their offices are staffed in a way where they can still take those telephone calls and help people do any official business that they need. However, we felt that we had a responsibility to do our part in trying to socially distance everyone while still maintaining operations here at the courthouse. These are difficult times, these are uncharted waters, but we felt that we needed to take some action to make sure that we were doing our part to keep the citizens of Lincoln County safe and still maintain the functionality of county government. So that's really all I wanted to add under comments. Does anybody, Phoebe, Doc, you have anything else?
No, I just agree wholeheartedly with what you said. I think that the steps that we've taken are necessary, and that we're going about it prudently, and as we've talked before, we want to make sure that we are one of the sources for the accurate information getting to the public, and making sure that they can depend upon that. And you know, it is rough times, and I'm hoping we come out of this better than what is predicted. So as long as we do what we can, and every citizen in Lincoln County realizes this is a true threat, and they need to do the things we're talking about as far as washing their hands and distancing themselves and things like that, it helps a whole lot when you look at the cumulative effect of everybody doing what they should do. If they don't, then it hurts a lot. So, but I do think I appreciate the commission doing what they've done, and you know, and hopefully I can, with the background I have, I can kind of keep the commissioners up to date with what I know and how I feel about it, and then we can get our heads together if we're going to have any kind of news releases as we go along, that will make sure that that information, like I said before, is based in scientific fact, and if we do that, we'll be a lot better off than listening to anything else that might be the noise that's going around that most people listen to, or not a lot of people listen to. We've got to cut through that noise and give them good information and keep them safe.
Okay. Well, if that is all everybody has, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I will move to adjourn
I'll
until April 21st.
second that.
Okay.
The motion is to adjourn until April 21st. I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
We stand adjourned.